Hi, everyone, and welcome to Women's Health Matters podcast. And today I'm joined by Katarzyna. I hope I pronounced that right, or Kate, as she told me to pronounce it, so it's slightly easier. And she does the Silva Method. It's a type of meditation, but I'm going to let Katarzyna explain everything about what she does. So welcome to this podcast, and thank you so much for taking the time to come on and talk to my listeners about what you do.
Yeah, hi Lucy. It's a pleasure for me to be here. Thank you so much for having me here. Yes, Katarzyna is a correct version of my name, but absolutely, that's totally fine. You can call me Kate. So yes, I am a mindset coach, a business trainer, and a certified Silva Method instructor in Ireland. So I believe, Lucy, that it will be great to let your audience know about what the Silva Method is all about. So just be very concrete and very specific about that. The Silva Method is the system of dynamic meditation techniques that this is quite important that teach students. So basically anyone who is going to come across the Silva Method to first of all reach alpha level and then use alpha level consciously, and at the same time to use both brain hemisphere. So maybe just let me finish this, because I believe that maybe some people might not be aware about what alpha level is. So I presume that you know that our brain functions on different brainwave frequency. And for instance, now me and you, we are now based on beta level brainwave frequency. What does it mean? That we can see each other, we are gathering information through our senses, but it has been basically proved by science, a lot of researches and experiments, that once we will know how we can consciously reach that deeper state of our brain that we called alpha level, we can do much more. We can rest out there, we can get a lot of inspirations, creativity, we can even do a self-healing for ourselves and for others. So I think that I explained that already. So probably the best way, to understand what the Silva Method is about by our audience is to know that this is the system of dynamic meditation techniques that teach people to reach deeper level of our brain that we called alpha brainwave frequency.
Okay. That's really interesting because as you said, it's really good to explain the different levels of the brain, because we go around and we don't realize all the stuff that's going on around us. We kind of just take it for granted, I think. Absolutely. So I often have people here, and I would recommend meditation as a form of relaxation. It's not my area of expertise, but I have a lot of people that go, no, meditation is not for me. So what would you say to those non-believers?
Yeah, well, again, I think that when I do even think about myself, Lucy, and when I started my journey with the Silva Method, I'm not sure if you are recording this as a video, but I brought the book just in case. When I started my journey with the Silva Method, and when I have been starting to teaching this method 8 years ago, to be honest with you, it was more challenging for me to talk about the meditations. But I'm not sure if you agree with me, but I see a lot of changes that are going on at the moment in our modern world, because I see and I feel that people are begun to believe more in the power of meditation, as we have a lot of expertise, research, and the scientific proof that this is so great for us to go and relax for 5 minutes and basically slow down our brainwave frequency. So for people who are not going to believe in meditations, or maybe they are going to be skeptic, I would say meditation is nothing else like relaxation time for yourself. And we all need it. We all need it, right? Because it's so great for us to spend at least 5, 10, 15 minutes a day to basically calm down our body, relax our mind, and be able to tune into ourselves, to our intuition, to our creative faculties, And we do have within ourselves such a faculties like imagination and visualization, because once we are in our level, we are not only relaxing ourselves, but we can get a lot of information and find a solution to so many problems and challenges. So see, very often people that I came across, the people who are appearing on my classes or, you know, through the sessions one-to-one, they think that meditation is something very complicated. But it's not. It's really all about to closing your eyes, to connect with yourself, and to even, you know, simply focusing on your breath or scanning your body from the head to toes and giving yourself the time, you know, and knowing that, yes, I am with myself right now. I am meditate because I want to increase my energy level. I want to be productive during my day. I want to be more positive. I want to have more positive mindset. So benefits are countless. I probably can name all of them. But again, make it simple. Meditation is really all about to closing your eyes and have an opportunity to kind of don't think for the moment about external factors. Just be with yourself. Be with that beautiful calm and the energy that it's coming from inside out. That's really all.
It is very true. That is so true. But I often find, and I do meditation. I can't say I do it regularly, but I have done it. And I did the Deepak Chopra one actually once, which I found really good, the 21-day challenge. In the beginning, I remember when I was lying down or sitting down, he would be talking away. And I'm sure it's something similar to what you do. And he would then say to us, you know, like, empty your mind. But things would fly in, like, I need a pint of milk, or oh my God, I didn't do the washing. Just random stuff like that, not even important things that come in your head. What happened? What do you advise when that happens?
Yes, and thank you so much that you actually mentioned this, because that's very typical. Think about that, right? If you are starting new challenge, if you want to build a new habits, and obviously, you know, being at the alpha stage during practicing meditation every single day, it might be something very new for you if you never done it before. You know, and what we want to do during the meditation is really go to the relaxation level. And then the brain is chatting, like you said. Oh yeah, what I'm going to do tomorrow. Okay, you know, what I'm going to say my boss during my meeting. So this is very typical. But for you to be very successful with meditation, we need you to do a lot of repetition. So I would say, don't worry at the beginning that you will hear that chatter that will be coming from your brain. Because, you know, our brain doesn't like to be really bored. It's all about thinking. It's all about absorbing the information. And we want you to relax. So he's like, no, I'm not going to do this. You know, I will show you that, you know, I can control everything what you want to show me, because we want to go to that beautiful calmness state. But then we know, okay, the chatter is coming from, you know, so many different aspects. So I would say, first of all, acknowledge that this is the normal process. Give yourself a time that probably after a week or two, once you are going to be very regular with the practice, the amount of that chatter will reduce. And that's the fact. That's true story of mine. And this is obviously true story of so many Silva Method graduates. And I didn't mention, we have 11 million, Lucy, Silva Method graduates in our databases, because the program that I do teach here in Ireland is available at the moment in more than 110 countries. And it has been translated for more than 32 different languages. So you can imagine. So I would say this is absolutely normal and typical story. Acknowledge and accept that, yes, I know my brain is going to send me so many different, usually even negative messages, but I want to be stronger. I know that once I'm going to commit myself to that beautiful practice, I will be better and better with every day and in every way. but we need to make a commitment decision, and we need to be very regular with this. I hope that you agree with me. Maybe you don't believe in this, but I hope that you agree with me that the repetition, we hate this word, but repetition is a key to manifesting. And
I agree.
I
do
right?
agree.
I know.
No, I do agree. And I do agree. But I think repetition is probably one of the hardest things to do. I am going to be honest, because your brain gets bored, you get bored.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I think it's hard to keep it up.
Yeah, but then Lucy, look, if you have a strong intention, let's say, because we are here to talk a little bit about the health today. Let's say if you have that strong intentions that, yes, I want to overcome that health challenge, right? Or yes, I just see myself walking and maybe I have a walking difficulties. If you have this strong vision, if you know what to do, I believe that it's easier for you to make that very challenging habitual behavior that you want to obviously put into your daily life as a habitual behavior. So obviously, I'm going to be honest with you and with our audience that yes, absolutely, it is very challenging for us to build a healthy habits. But then if we know what we want, if I want to walk, but now I have a walking difficulties, and maybe, being at my level, seeing myself, as a beautiful, healthy person, obviously combining with healthy diet, some physical activities, having a strong belief that I can do this, I can tell you, and I'm very, very responsible for my words, you would be able to do so. But you need to obviously have a strong belief, vision, and like you said, this is going to build that strong desire that, yes, it's early in the morning, but I'm going to do my best and I'm going to meditate at least for 5 minutes a day.
Yeah, I do. I agree with you completely. You create the habit then, and then when you start doing it, if you don't do it, then you miss it, and you realize that you don't feel as good in yourself, and then
Absolutely.
you go back to doing it. Yeah, no, I do. We're lazy. We become really lazy, and yeah, it's easier to sit down, sit down and watch the TV
exactly
than do exercise, say. Because I know for me, I know it's slightly different to meditation, but I know for me with exercise, and I was actually saying it to my patient this morning, that if I don't get up and exercise straight away, I could have a million excuses throughout the whole day as to not why I shouldn't do it. So I think you have to create those habits. Like at, say, 10 o'clock, you do your meditation, and it has to be at 10 o'clock every day. Absolutely. Because otherwise you don't do it. It just doesn't get planned. It gets pushed out completely.
Absolutely. It's really all about, like you said, about your priority, about your values. We talk a lot about the vision. We work a lot with our faculties of genius that I mentioned to you, which are our visualizations and imagination. Because see, our brain, it's so powerful, and our brain cannot see the difference between our vivid imagination and physical reality. So once we are going to go to that beautiful habitual behavior and rewire our brain to see yourself from the totally new perspective, I can tell you, Lucy, this is my true story, that you can create your new reality, your new healthy habits from the scratch. And it is possible. Obviously, it takes a time. You need to be patient. It takes a lot of mental discipline, physical discipline, but you can do this. It's really about your values, your priorities, your vision, how I am going to feel if I'm going to do this, how I'm going to see myself if I'm going to make commitment decision that within next 3 months or a year time, I'm going to follow basically, daily meditation, for instance, or other approach. But we are talking about the meditation because this is the specialization of mine.
How did you get into meditation? How did you go on this journey? Because I can hear it in you. You're incredibly passionate about it.
Yes. Thank you so much for asking. Well, my journey started, I would say, on a very, very funny way. And I'm just laughing because if for some reason any of Silva Method graduates will listen our podcast, and I believe that they will be very, very interested, they are going to have a laugh because see, Lucy, I have been connected with the personal development area, I would say, since 2008, maybe, like on the professional level.
Mm-hmm.
2010, I just had my coaching accreditations here in one of the institutions in Dublin, because I am connecting with you today from Dublin in Ireland. And for some reason, you know, I just felt that strong desire that, you know, by providing coaching to my clients, I can show them very, very easy way how they can improve their life for the better. I was connected with the life and the business coaching at the beginning of my journey. But then for some reason, now I know the why, but you know, I can now connect my dots. But listen to this, it was 2010 and I got married in 2010. And you know, usually when people got married, they are planning to go for a week of some honeymoon holidays, let's call them like that. And I don't know why. Well, now I know why, but at that point, 12 years ago, I just had this strong desire that for some reason, I am going to take the Silva Mind Control Method book with myself.
Okay.
So you can imagine, my husband is like, Kasia, are you crazy? You are not going to take any book to honeymoon. Honeymoon is all about kissing, hugging, you know.
Yeah.
When are you going to plan reading this book? And I was like, Lucas, I have this desire. I don't know. I'm going to bring this book with me. And obviously, you have a time once you are sunbathing on this beautiful Portuguese beaches, because we went to Portugal for our honeymoon. And for some reason, Lucy, I just read this book and it was mind-blowing, mind-blowing. There was a lot of aspect about how you can use your mind, how you can awaken the hidden power of your mind, and how you can connect with your heart desire. And I was that person. I am this kind of the person that when I read something and this is like, wow, you know, those people were able to change my life. I want to change my life too. So I started to basically applying the tools from this book into my life. And I saw a lot of changes. You know, I saw that by applying meditations to my daily life, I am more calmer. I started to visualizing, you know, what I want to see or have in my life. And then making this long story very, very short, there was 2014 and I went to Poland because I am originally from Poland with my son, because I became a mother in 2013. And I think that it was my mom who knew about the Silva Method, because I said to her, listen, read this book. It's just absolutely amazing. You know, this book can show you the way how you can improve your life. And she said to me, listen, you know, I just came across that there will be a seminar in Poland about the book that you told me. So you can now imagine I am there on that seminars. And once I am applying one of the meditation, I am receiving an insight that maybe I can teach this method in Ireland, because I was already here, living here for, I think, around 8 years. I was connected with the personal development area. I was providing, you know, coaching to my clients. I was like, why not? I just love this stuff. It will be great for me to see if there is anybody in Ireland who can apply this method. So then everything is just coming, you know, with the one path. In 2014, I'm going to do my certification training in Kaunas in Lithuania. And I think that it was November 2014 when I facilitated my first Silva Method seminars in Central Hotel in Dublin. And since this time, you know, I have this privilege to teach people how they can awaken the hidden power of their mind and activate the power of their heart desire, their intuition. So this is how I was involved in, first of all, you know, teaching this program on the professional way. But before that time, I just did it for myself because I wanted to test it. I wanted to see if, you know, the man from the book is actually right. And he was. And now when I do think about myself from the 10 years back, Lucy, I am totally different person. I think, feel, behave on totally different level to compare, you know, to the 10 years ago. So
how have you changed? Because that's really, you know, I'm sure a lot of people would like, because it's, you know, we hear this and
absolutely.
I can really, like, I can feel you buzzing with excitement. You know, like with this, because it has really changed your life. I can see that in you.
I think that the most important aspect that I've got through the Silva method is that Silva method show me, Lucy, the way how I can relax my body and mind. I think that this is the huge benefit of the Silva method. And I'm not sure if you can feel it. This is just the feedback that I very often am, you know, receiving from my clients. They are saying to me, "Oh, Kasia, you are full of energy, very dynamic." And I used to be like that before. I used to focus only on my career, you know, starting from the recruitment background, moving to the HR department, being responsible for the training induction aspect in one of the financial service company. So I had the feeling that I was constantly on the go, if you know what I mean. Don't really focusing on what I am putting to my mouth, don't really focusing, you know, if my body is healthy. You know, my mindset was not, I believe, on that values and priorities that I do have within myself right now. So I would say that the big change was that I understood that for me, in order to manifest, we have now this beautiful word manifestation, right?
Yes.
For me, in order to change, that for me, in order to manifest, that for me, in order to become a better person, is just to teach my body and myself to relax. You know, just to stop, because as I said, I was just running. And yes, of course, I was happy. Don't take me wrong. You could probably say that, oh yeah, my life was so beautiful, but it was not really, because from inside out, I was not really fulfilling myself. So I would say that was the biggest aspect that I've got through daily practice of meditation, that I was able to stop in the morning and preparing myself for the day. I've already mentioned to you that in the Silva method, we work a lot with imaginary techniques and visualization techniques. So every single time, you know, when I sit down to my meditation, I was visualizing, you know, how I want to see during that particular day, what I'm going to accomplish, how I'm not only going to see what I want to do in my company, but also as a human being, how I want to change my relationship with my husband, how I want to, you know, take care of my eating habits and activity habits. So I would say that that was the biggest change. And then, because I understood all of the how process, how I can change from inside out, many different aspects just appear. I made this, I believe, very courage decision. I think that you know what I will be talking about, because I decided to stop working for somebody else, you know. So I had really nice position in one of the companies, but I was like, no, probably it's not for me anymore. And you know, because my son appeared in my life, I just wanted to have a more fulfilling life. And you know, in this time, making decision that I'm going to stop full-time position and now working for myself, I believe that this is a huge decision for every single woman. So many different aspects, you know, appear. So many beautiful manifestations, you know, from that abundance perspective, health perspective, relationship perspective. That's why I love to always say that I am in the completely different moment of my life, because now I just know that, you know, I can only be able to manifest through the relaxation level, because this is only the moment for me to stop, to reflect, to find solution. Think about that, how we can do this if we were in constant rush.
Yeah, I know. I completely agree with you. And it's right. So my background would be Chinese medicine, and a lot of women, and you would be such a typical example 10 years ago of going, not caring about eating, sleeping, what your body is telling you, what your mind is telling you. And you get burnout. You get burnout completely. And you definitely don't have that. I can see you're bounding with energy. But it's amazing how many of us don't listen to our bodies. And I call it the tiredness bug in the afternoon, and we push ourselves through that. And that's the time that we should really take care of ourselves. If it's just to go outside and breathe in the air, or as you said, close your eyes for 5 minutes and do a meditation. And it's very rejuvenating. And even the breath work in breathing in and out is so good for helping create DHEAs, which support kidney and adrenal health. So you're right. The journey you've done, I can see it in you, but it's immense, the turnaround for you. You would have been burnt out and sick if you didn't do this. You
Absolutely, Lucy. And I know that. And, even if, you know yourself, we just do a little bit different work. But even if I'm thinking now about the Silva Method graduates who actually made this commitment decision that, yes, they want to follow, that beautiful meditation practice that we offer to our seminars, they are in the totally different position. We have such a beautiful stories amongst our Silva communities that, for instance, people, by applying that huge power of belief, and obviously, combined with healthy diet, physical activities, because I want to come across here today as a person that we treat people from the holistic perspective, right? You can meditate, but if you are going to put the,
yeah, you have to change the other aspects.
Exactly. Yeah. You need to change yourself from the totally different perspective, because you might spend an hour in meditations, but if for some reason still you are going to have a very negative beliefs and emotions within yourself, you are not going to change. And let's be honest, that's why we are kind of showing you the way how you can change whole aspect of your life. Think about what you eat, right? And think about your movement as well, because that's the whole picture.
It is hugely. And you mentioned a lot about values. And I think as we grow up, well, I'm not going to say grow up, that's the wrong word, sorry. As our life changes, we in our 20s, it's very different to maybe our 30s and 40s. Our values change. And I think that's a huge thing. And it's a question I would ask again, my patients, like, what would your values be? And it's amazing. They kind of go, God, I don't know.
I know.
It's quite scary. So how would you get people to, again, you use meditation to figure out your values?
Well, in terms of the values, I would say that here in the meditations, usually once people coming, to work with the Silva Method, that kind of know their values. But I can tell you maybe from coaching perspective, how we do treat the values here. Like you said, because we are changing, our values are changing. So I suggest that, okay, if you for some reason feel strongly that maybe, okay, this toxic work environment is not for me, I would suggest then maybe to think and even, like to stop and reflect on that. Because for some reason, you mentioned about the body tensions and that we have a tendency to not listening to our body. If for some reason, every single day when you are going to your work, you feel that tensions within your body, there is a sign. And I'm not going to tell you quit your job, because obviously we need the money, but then there is a sign for you. Maybe, there is something that it's telling me you about to take a change. So this is how you can kind of think about the value. Okay, so maybe, it's not anymore for me. I used to love this, because Lucy, this is what I just shared with you. I was super fulfilling myself in order to work for somebody else in the medium of my 20s. That was absolutely amazing, time of my life. But then, like you said, I become a mother, I become a wife, and I just see that, there is something different for me in this world. So I was not kind of, feeling great at that work environment when I was going out there every single day. So I was like, oh, there is a sign for me. This place is, I not value this place so much like I used to. So I would say, Lucy, be open, see the sign also from the reality, from the universe, work with yourself, feel your body, what your body is telling you, be open-minded, because I believe that we can see the signs. And because of that signs, we can then create a new value. We can change ourselves through the journey, through the path, through the process.
Yeah, I think that's very powerful. Being open-minded, looking at things from different angles is hugely powerful, actually, rather than, tunnel, which sometimes we can do as well.
Oh, yeah. And we are programmed to do so, as you probably agree with me, right?
Yes.
We are so programmed because, like you mentioned, we've made grow up, like you said, in particular families, in particular culture, in particular society. And now let's say like myself, I opened up myself and I was like, oh, let's see how the world looks like from the different perspective, because I was raised in a small city, in Poland. And I, like you said, I had this tunnel. But then when you are like,
I know. Yeah.
leaving that comfort zone, you are like, wow, you can do this, you can do that. It's not really necessary for you to only work for that particular company. It's not really true that you need to do this or that for whole life, and it's like mind blowing. And you are like, yes, I can do so much, because I do have this potential within myself.
I know, I completely agree. This is slightly digressing now, but I remember we did a holiday to America, and my son at the time was 17, and he was kind of like, studying school and the leaving cert and, oh, mom, you don't have to make me go to college, this kind of attitude. And we went to New York, and he was like, wow, he was just like, oh my God, there is all of this out here. And I'm like, yes, James, there's a whole world out here. And he actually came home and he goes, right, I know what I want to do, and I've got a plan. It was really good. Gave him such focus. So similar, like it's for meditation, the same thing. It gives you that focus. It's amazing, actually.
And maybe just one thing, Lucy, that I still think, and I'm still discovering for myself while I'm at my meditation practice, that many people may find this powerful, but I believe that, once you are going to that level, this is the language that we use in the Silva Method community, but basically what does it mean when you are at relaxation level? Think about that. You are just within yourself. You are not determined by your husband's opinion, society, culture, and this is the place where there is no time and space. You can literally create and think about yourself from the totally different perspective. That's why I personally love this practice as well. Leaving the health aspect, obviously, because we know that through the meditation, wow, we can just improve so many things. Mm-hmm. But even just like for yourself, it's really your moment for yourself. And, very, very often, even if we are in loving environment, still we are like kind of, can get the message, oh no, don't do this, you are not good enough, blah, 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 blah. But in this moment, you are totally within yourself. There is no time and space. And you can do so much because, your imagination has no any limits. So you can literally create the plan of how you want your life to look like. What you can do. Maybe, you are on particular path of healing yourself. But then, your body is like, feeling tension. You are like, oh no, but maybe I would try the way of Lucy or Kasia. Maybe this is something what I need right now. And I believe that because you are within yourself, you can then listen the messages. You can listen more to yourself. Because, usually we are programmed. There is only one way, like you said, there is only this way. And because you are going to talk within yourself, you can listen more. And I believe that this is the very, very huge and powerful benefit of meditation.
I completely agree with you. I really do. I'm not just, I really do agree with you. Now, some people, when you're meditating, they fall asleep. Is that good or bad?
Very good questions. Thank you, Lucy. Well, I would say that, of course, if you can be awake, right, because we teach you how you can go to the level and still be conscious. This is the power of the Silva method. But again, right, because at the beginning of your journey, like you said, you might have this brain chatter. Your mind is going to tell you everything. I would say it's not so bad. It's okay. Again, accept, acknowledge, because our subconscious will still get everything what you want to program, inside out. So usually, during my classes or during my seminars, I guide people through the beautiful meditation. And, it's a long meditation because sometimes it's 20-25 minutes. And they are like, oh, I was not really awake. I was like, don't worry. Your subconscious would always take what you are ready for. So this is very important questions. Thank you so much for asking. So I would say, no, it's not so bad. Of course, by your practice, you are going to train yourself. You are going to be better and better. But at the beginning, it's totally fine. Don't worry, you still are going to get the message through your subconscious if you want to. This is the powerful way of us.
You know what? You have been the most amazing guest, and you've such energy and passion for the Silva Method. I'm gonna have to try this myself. Really, it's really good. Thank you so much for sharing all of that really amazing information. So just before we go, what would be the most beneficial tip that you could give my listeners?
From everything what I do?
Mm-hmm.
I would say, this is probably my saying that I share recently with people. I want to, guys, let you know that you are more than you think you are. We are absolutely more than we think that we are. We can do so many things, but again, we need to open up ourselves. And the way how I support people on their journey is just to show them how to use their mind more effectively and how to connect with your heart desire. I believe that this is absolutely two great ways for us to discover more, to be more healthier, to be more fulfilled, to receive more abundance from the life, because we are more than we think we are.
That is really beautiful. And it is so true. It actually is so true, because often the self-talk that we do, and even probably in that meditation in the beginning with that chatter, is pretty nasty. Actually.
Absolutely it is. Yeah.
It can be really nasty, and there's no way we would actually say that out loud to anybody. So you're right. It is about, being good to yourself, and that you can do more than you think you can. I love that. I really love that. So if anyone wants to contact you, how can they do that?
Yes, so basically if somebody wants to contact me, probably the best and the easiest way would be to find me through the different social media platform.
Which I'll add into the show notes.
Yes, as the Silva Method Island. I probably suggest to visit my YouTube channel because we have a growing fast community out there, and I share out there a lot of content. So people who might find this a little bit, difficult, there is more details about that. So, during my master classes, I basically explain step by step how to work with our mind, how to become a friend with our intuition. So, and everything, when you will came across the Silva Method Island, you will meet me and my face.
Thank you once again. And thank you everyone for listening, and watch out for the next podcast. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lucy.